Sun International says it will challenge the looming smoking law changes because they pose a risk to the profitability of its casinos. The Health Department recently resuscitated the tobacco bill. It is now before the Portfolio Committee on Health. The bill, among others, aims to deter children and youth from using tobacco products and encourages users to quit smoking. I'm now joined by Anthony Leeming, Sun International's CEO. Anthony, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. In what ways, very practically, I'm trying to imagine a casino situation here, is smoking going to kill your business? Because as far as I understand, you have designated zones, smoking zones. Is this bill in the current form going to change all that?
Good afternoon, Boyan. Good afternoon to listeners. Yes, it will. I mean, we have 30% of our gaming areas designated to smoking. So a customer does have a choice, but the bulk of our revenue does come out of that smoking area. So it will have an impact. No one's saying it's going to devastate the business, but it certainly is going to have an impact. And we believe the controls in place and are good enough. I think not that we're against all what the bill is trying to achieve, but certainly the restrictions on smoking areas and where people can and can't we find is very onerous.
But I'm still not clear as to how it's going to change status quo.
Well, generally smokers, if they gamble and they like to smoke while they gamble, they'll tend to go out and gamble less. So it is a factor in the gaming industry, and it's happened worldwide. Where smoking bans take place, gaming revenue does drop.
So you will no longer have those designated areas inside the casino, but people will instead have to go outside, all the way out.
That's right. So there'll definitely not be any smoking areas inside the casino. So all areas will be smoke-free zones entirely.
Wow. Would that be the only issue that you are objecting to?
It's a primary objection. I mean, clearly, the ability of smokers to smoke where they can smoke is a bit of an issue as well. But certainly the sale of tobacco, the restriction on the sale, we think those are all positive and are right. But certainly taking away people's freedom of choice where they want to go out, where they do. We've still got most of our casino spaces open, all smoke-free zones. And so we do think it is taking away people's choice.
Now, from the conversations you've had with the legislators, but also in the health authorities, does it look like they are prepared to even listen?
Well, they listen. They're holding public hearings, and I guess they're listening. How much they adopt is the question. So, through CASA, the Casino Association of South Africa, we have put through our objections and our problems with the bill, and we got to wait for the outcome and see if anything's changed in the final bill that's eventually drafted.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, you haven't had any, let's say, informal conversations, as everyone tries to do in situations like these, where they engage with the legislatures. Often you do get some concessions, just as other people are doing in the health area at the moment, trying to influence the legislators to think differently, or even to allow some concessions. Have you done any of that lobby work and perhaps checked the attitudes of the legislators as to whether they may just be a reception to at least some of your propositions?
I really don't have a feeling whether they are going to or not, but we do know there is a lot of objection even within Parliament itself. There's quite a few lobbying against the bill. The bill is very onerous in not just to us, but a lot of other industries. And certainly I think there's still quite a divided view on the bill within Parliament itself. But certainly we haven't had a lot of feedback in terms of what our problems are and what will be adopted and what will be, adjusted in the bill.
Mm-hmm. And in the event of a deadlock, what are your options?
Well, once we're a legal company that has a license from government, we have to comply with the laws that are applied. So if there's an outright ban on smoking, we looked at areas what we can do. We can change certain areas. Certain areas of the casino may improve accessibility in certain cases, but ultimately we know that the ban on smoking will cause a drop. So we're doing what we can, but we'll have to comply with the law. One of the issues is it does cause not problem gaming, but illegal gaming to flourish, because people can go into these areas that aren't as well policed and aren't certainly monitored, and they will be free to allow people to do what they like.